On the 23rd of November 1996, it was as if a presence really came to me and formed the verses in my mind. So I've always said, although my name is on it, the Southwark Mysteries was written by the Goose and John Crow. It was as if the verses took me on a journey in my mind. And then in the middle of the night, about 3 o'clock, and this is true, very spooky, there was a sense that the Goose wanted to take me on a walk. And I was spooked that night, and I went with it. And she actually brought me to this gate, which of course in those days was just a desolate gate on a works yard with rubbish blowing around and clattering tin cans. But it was a place where this sense of the presence and all these songs and poems was strongest. And many of the poems that started this work were received here that night by the Goose. And at that time, as I say, I consciously knew nothing of the existence of this as a graveyard. But I always practice a kind of bibliomancy where I'll go to a library. Remember, in those days there wasn't really Google to find out about this place. But I went to the local studies library and just opened a book at random and read the reference to the single woman's burial ground, and then looked on maps to find out where it was, and then came back here and saw that there were London Underground hoardings, which there still are all around it, and realised it had been dug up, and decided at that point not to believe in ghosts, a very unpopular thing to do in a way, but to act as if this spirit was real. And that's how I came to write the Southwark Mysteries, and to begin with other people a campaign to make this whole area from the fence there down to the road to become a garden of remembrance for the outcast dead. And so every 23rd of every month people come here and before 7 o'clock. We begin at 7 to refresh and renew the shrine and just to remember the outcast dead, and a kind of communion between the living and the dead, and not the sort of Halloween 16 way, but the Halloween of Crossbones way. This year, in fact, we're doing our Halloween of Crossbones 13, the 13th ritual done on the 31st of October, when we do a ritual in a nearby venue, and it ends in a procession to the site.